Hello and welcome to Rauta. This is Jerry, and this time once again in Underground Trio we have three different releases, and this time, man, they're all very different styles, so hard to compare to one another as you might guess, but yet here we are, and I'm going to rank them from worst to best according to my own opinion. Obviously, feel free to disagree, and in case you're interested in some of these bands, all of them possibly, links are provided in the description box. Now, first we'll head to Finland with a band called Lucubration with Blood Massacre of the Anodyne. This is so fresh of a band that even though it is metal indeed, it wasn't even listed on Metal Archives for this review. Not that it matters, because in Underground Trio we don't really sacrifice time for backdrops, but go quickly through all of these releases. This one is kind of a combination of weird styles, 3 tracks overall, and technically this is a combination that sounds first at like doom death metal, which it technically is, but that's more than that. Now it's heavy, it's done with death metal vocals, but there are parts where it gets kind of grindy, even a little bit of primitive black metal, but overall I would say sludge doom death is as close we can get in terms of genre wise. Because it's kind of a mess, it's really kind of hard to figure out what these guys actually want you to figure out when you're listening to this. Surely the growly vocals kind of give it away, yes, it's about death metal. Then again, this very sludgy overall production with very distinctive snare sound is something different. It puts you kind of in a world where it's not really typical death metal, especially when the tempo is really slow and the songwriting, I mean, it's done with rather lengthy songs. Then there's one track which is kind of like not metal at all, but kind of a more like experimental side of things. So you have a lot of things going on here, which makes this a little bit of a mixed bag of goodies. Some people will probably like all of them, and some people are like, I just want those scroll vocals and the rest can just piss off. Then there are these faster parts which don't really fit in, you know, the kind of a doom death metal setting where you're expecting things to be mid-tempo at best. So it gets a little bit grindtastic, and like I said, there's a thin layer of black metal presence all over it. But calling it a black metal release or black death is kind of a stretch. I wouldn't go that far. Because of its demoish nature and rather rawish production, hard to recommend this for a lot of audience right there. But in case you want something different, you're able to just hit those big mixed bag of goodies, give it a go. The second one is from Norway. It's a Sykofant. And this is also very fresh from the oven. During the day I'm actually taking time to film this and listening to this CDR. There aren't even a full album available on Bandcamp, but by the time you're gonna get this one for listening through the review and all, you will find out that there is, I'm guessing obviously, full album, because this is supposed to get out during May, late May and all that stuff. Now this is kind of a peculiar because it's kind of a groovy progressive rock of sorts, not metallic at all, even though you might say, yeah, certain elements could be kind of a lightweight metal, but I will just call it rock and roll music because in my opinion that's what it is. You have those clean vocals, you have very cool audible bass lines, then a kind of a flowy guitar part, and by flowy I mean it's very groovy. It kind of has this nice vibe to it. It's kind of a lighthearted, but it's not really like super uplifting and super happy and all that stuff. Somewhere between the kind of rather dark metal and the super happy pop music. Just kind of a groovy rock and roll, the really nice production. Now some of the parts are here actually kind of a borderline catchy, even if the overall album is not too memorable. But this is something that is very easy to digest, and I must say those bass lines really give it a kind of a nice overall tune to it. But the vocals could be, in my opinion, a little better. Maybe it's not like the vocals are bad, because they're not, but it just seems like the vocals are probably the least skilled here. But then again, this just must be me and randomly talking. Anyway, if you want you some groovy rock and roll music, this might be it. And then the best of the pile comes from Finland with album already out in 2022 by Seidur. This is the debut album Echoes of the Ages Past. Now, word of warning, however, I'm biased because we actually have shared guitars with Seidur and Nightside. So there is that, and as such, you don't get to call this proper review, obviously, because that would be just me saying like, yeah, I am favoring this band because the vocalist guitar player is the same, but can't still lie about it. I mean, I like this. It's very, very pagan black metal like of things, very melodic, kind of a lightweight, in case you want to consider it something, meaning this is not very aggressive, nor it's super dark, and by no means raw black metal. If you have to kind of name drop something, you could call it the kind of a pagan version of Dissection. Surely there are parts where it's very, very Dissection-like, very like catchy even, and some of the melodic riffs are just very, very good. But if you're looking for more intense, aggressive, fierce, or raw, or really dark, satanic black metal, this might not be your thing. As you can already figure out by some of the song names and even how the band photo is, these guys are definitely more into the Viking mythological things, folklore, and what have you. So while it's not exactly folk black, I think the wording pagan black metal is a very, very good description of what's going on with Seidur, already starting with the name and all. So if you're into very, very traditional Nordic black metal, especially from the kind of a Swedish vibe to it, but having a Finnish touch to it also, I think this is an album you should be looking for. Now, one thing is still bothering me. Even though this album was made in 2022 and it's good quality from the production to the vocals, to the guitars, everything, still don't have a label to it. And as such, this is CDR, self-financed copies. So in my opinion, this band totally deserves proper label to put it out on CD, vinyl, what have you. And for some reason, that is not to be seen yet. So I don't know what lies in the future for these guys, but I wish all of the best because this is really good stuff, even if not super great out of there. Anyway, of all three different styles, obviously you pick up what you want and want to hear, what you're fans of and all that stuff. So sludge, doom death, groovy rock and roll, or some pagan black metal. That is all from now. Links are provided in the description box. Go, listen, and enjoy. Take care, I'm Jerry, and see you soon with more reviews coming your way.